Hey, it's Jamie East here from the Smart 7, and today's episode is brought to you by Pension Bee and their award-winning Pension Confident podcast. Getting your head around pensions might seem overwhelming, but that's where Pension Bee comes in. They're on a mission to build pension confidence. So whether you're just starting on your pension journey, you're nearing retirement, or like me, you're somewhere a little bit in between, then you should have a listen to the Pension Confident podcast. It's an award-winning podcast that digs into topics that really matter with the help of financial experts. So that could be the basics of how pensions, ISAs or mortgages work, and things like how to get started on saving for a happy retirement. And a bit like the Smart 7 does with the news, they break down complex pensions finance into language that we can all understand. You can listen or download the Pension Confident podcast wherever you get your podcast from, or you can watch the episodes on YouTube. And remember, anything discussed on the podcast shouldn't be regarded as financial or legal advice, and when investing, your capital is at risk. On today's Smart 7, red carpet treatment for Donald Trump, French migration deal hits the rocks and much more. It's Thursday the 18th of September, it's Equal Pay Day, and happy birthday Jada Pinkett Smith.
The Smart 7. It's news, but not the news.
Donald Trump got the full VIP treatment on Wednesday on his historic second state visit to the United Kingdom. There was an early morning helicopter flight to Windsor Castle, then a carriage procession through the estate, and a double 21-gun salute. Donald and Melania also paid their respects at the tomb of Queen Elizabeth II, and then were hosted at a formal state banquet.
This relationship, which, with good reason, we and our predecessors have long called special, has made us safer and stronger through the generations.
An estimated 5,000 protesters gathered in Parliament Square as part of the Stop Trump coalition, which includes campaigners on anti-racism, climate change and pro-Palestine organisations. Thursday will see the US President meet with Prime Minister Keir Starmer, but as the Mandelson scandal rolls on, the spectre of Jeffrey Epstein may cause new friction in the relationship between Trump and Starmer. Former NBC presenter Chuck Todd told Channel 4 News the Epstein issue could be problematic.
The minute you have the stench of a loser, whether you're a political ally or not, he will quickly throw you away.
In the wake of the UN Commission's report on Gaza, which accused Israel of engaging in genocide in the territory, there was a concerted effort from all sides to rein in the Israeli regime. The European Commission has proposed suspending some elements of their trade agreement with Israel until conditions in Gaza improve. The Pope also weighed in as Israeli troops push forward with a ground invasion of Gaza City.
I express my deep closeness with the Palestinian people in Gaza, who continue to live in fear and survive in unacceptable conditions, forced once again to leave their land, before the Almighty Lord who commanded us not to kill.
Tory peer Baroness Worsey says that the UK needs to take the UN report on genocide seriously.
This commission was set up long before the 7th of October. It was set up, I think, in 2021. What's interesting is that this is the fourth or the fifth report that the Commission have now put out. They have previously put out, many years ago, reports on Hamas, including after the 7th of October, where they have categorically said that Hamas and other Palestinian armed groups have committed war crimes.
Labour leader Keir Starmer came to power, promising to smash the smuggling gangs and to tackle the issue of illegal migration to the UK. He's tried various different tactics, and he's just swapped out former Home Secretary Yvette Cooper for former Justice Secretary Shabana Mahmood, but the pressure remains intense. We've seen record numbers of channel crossings, and now the latest attempt to solve the migration issue seems to have come unstuck. A treaty with France was supposed to see a one-in, one-out system, where illegal migrants would be returned to France in exchange for applicants who had been vetted. However, a court appeal by an Eritrean man has caused the system to grind to a halt after the man claimed asylum as a victim of trafficking. One of the lawyers involved in the appeal is Imogen Townley, and she says there are a number of issues.
There really isn't one argument that would apply to everybody who's seeking to resist removal to France. I'm working for somebody who has close family in the UK, who has serious mental health problems. We're acting for somebody else who was forced to come to the UK by traffickers.
Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny died in February 2024 in his jail cell, which was located about 30 miles north of the Arctic Circle. New evidence emerged on Wednesday which suggests that Putin's nemesis was poisoned and did not die from what Russian authorities had claimed was heart arrhythmia triggered by hypertension. Supporters of Navalny smuggled samples out of the jail, and his widow Yulia announced on Wednesday that she had the samples analysed by 2 separate laboratories and that her husband had been poisoned. That would be the second time that Putin poisoned the opposition leader, but Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said he was unaware of the claims.
Alexei was my husband. He was my friend. He was a symbol of hope for our country. Putin killed that hope. We have the right to know how he did it. I demand that the labs that conducted the analysis publish their results.
Still to come on today's Smart 7 in association with Metro, Liverpool and Chelsea in Champions League action, and Cardi B brings the drama. Right after this.
Hey, it's Jamie East here from the Smart 7, and today's episode's brought to you by Pension Bee and their award-winning Pension Confident podcast. Getting your head around pensions might seem overwhelming, but that's where Pension Bee comes in. They're on a mission to build pension confidence. So whether you're just starting on your pension journey, you're nearing retirement, or like me, you're somewhere a little bit in between, then you should have a listen to the Pension Confident podcast. It's an award-winning podcast that digs into topics that really matter with the help of financial experts. So that could be the basics of how pensions, ISAs or mortgages work, and things like how to get started on saving for a happy retirement. And a bit like the Smart 7 does with the news, they break down complex pensions finance into language that we can all understand. You can listen or download the Pension Confident podcast wherever you get your podcast from, or you can watch the episodes on YouTube. And remember, anything discussed on the podcast shouldn't be regarded as financial or legal advice, and when investing, your capital is at risk.
Welcome back. Wednesday night saw more Champions League action with 6 more games in the new league format. The lineup included PSG and Ajax taking on Inter Milan, with Liverpool and Chelsea both in action. Chelsea were on the road facing off against Harry Kane's Bayern Munich, but it didn't go well for Enzo Maresca's men, with 2 goals from Kane in a 3-1 win for Bayern. Liverpool welcomed Atletico Madrid to Anfield for a game that went down to the wire before Virgil van Dijk got a last-minute winner to see it finish 3-2 to Arne Slot's men.
But I think it's clear that if we feel a need, if we feel urgency, then we're unbelievable. And now we have to make sure that we feel this urgency 90 minutes. Don't even look at the score, just feel this urgency every second.
Rapper Cardi B has been in the news a lot recently. She went viral for her testimony in a civil trial, which was brought by a security guard who accused her of assault back in 2018. Cardi's eye rolls and the fact that she fell asleep in court didn't hold her case back though, and she was vindicated with the case being dropped. She's also got a new album out called Am I the Drama, which is due to drop on Friday, and she turned up on the CBS morning show with even more news. She's expecting a 4th child, her first with new boyfriend Stefan Diggs.
I'm excited. I'm happy. I feel like I'm in a good space. I feel very strong. I feel very powerful that I'm doing all this work, but I'm doing all this work while I'm creating a baby.
You may not remember, but way back in 1997, there was an iconic So Bad It's Good action movie called Anaconda. Its cast included J-Lo, Ice Cube, Owen Wilson and Jon Voight, and it followed a documentary film crew tracking down a giant anaconda with predictable consequences. In the meta world we live in now, maybe it's not surprising the concept is getting rebooted in a new movie also called Anaconda, which sees Jack Black and Paul Rudd play 2 buddies who set out to recreate the 1997 movie with, wait for it, predictable consequences. It's due to hit cinemas in December.
This is going to be the adventure of a lifetime. We've dreamed of making this movie ever since we were kids.
What does it cost to get this thing made?
$2.5 million.
We've approved a loan for up to $9,400.
Yes. We need a riverboat, a script, a snake handler, and a real snake.
You've been listening to the Smart 7. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Hit that follow button and have a great day. Give us 7 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Hey, it's Maya and Sim from the Girls That Invest podcast. If you are an IT or security pro, you know managing devices, identities, and applications can feel overwhelming and honestly risky. That's where Trellica by 1Password comes in. It helps conquer SaaS sprawl and shadow IT by discovering every app your team uses, managed or not. With pre-built app profiles, you can assess risk, manage access, and even optimize your software spend. Plus, it simplifies onboarding, offboarding, and compliance, all while cutting costs by eliminating unused licenses. Take the first step to better security for your team. Learn more at onepassword.com/special offer.